Welcome to the Cabral Concept, where board-certified naturopath and integrative health practitioner Dr. Stephen Cabral shares how he was diagnosed at the age of 17 with a life-altering illness and given no hope for recovery. It was only after studying and traveling all over the world did he discover how to combine ancient Ayurvedic healing practices with state-of-the-art naturopathic and functional medicine to fully rebalance the body and re-energize it with life. It's time to discover how to get well, lose weight, and finally feel alive again. And now, here's your host, Dr. Stephen Cabral.
Hey everybody, welcome back to the show. Glad you could join me here today for our Friday review, the closeout show of the week where anything goes. We'll be going over all of the updates from the week, a little podcast review in case you missed anything. What's happening over at Equilife, our virtual functional medicine global practice, where we work on integrative health with everyone around the world. Super excited about that. We'll be going over 2 research studies, both about improving your overall immunity while it matters now before you get sick. It's so important to understand that this really does matter. It's you don't want to work on your health when things have already gone wrong. That's what most people do. I just don't want you to be like most people. And I'm back with the book review of the week. This is by popular request. I've gotten no less than a half a dozen requests for me to read this book and review it for you, and I'm happy to have done that. All right, let's get into today's show. Once again, thank you so much for being a part of this community. Love being able to teach just a little bit every single day in order for all of us to improve our lives in terms of wellness, overall body transformation, anti-aging, and everything in between. All right, so updates for the week. What do I have for you this week? Well, I think there's some good and some bad. That's basically life, right? A lot of what I've seen in the industry lately, and even to do with my book of the week, which is, I don't know, I guess it's unfortunate, is because I see a lot of what people are doing out there. This is an industry that I love. I just try to do my best. I'm not perfect by any way, shape, or form, and I really never claimed to be. But I'm always trying to do my best, and I'm trying to put out good work that I believe can help people. And a lot of times what I see coming out right now is quick fixes. It's really flashy. There's a lot of propaganda behind it and not a lot of real backbone when it comes to helping people. And so I understand that, companies need to make money. It is important, right? Because you need to pay your team. You need to pay for your products. You have to be successful. So I totally get it. But at the same time, a lot of these companies where you don't know who's running the company, they just say anything. They literally will say anything in order to get you to use their product. And I just think I don't think that that's where we really want this industry to go. And so what I try to do is simply promote people and podcasts and interviews and products and all the things that I believe in. And so I just want us to be a little careful when we are looking at all of these new, Instagram ads, Facebook ads, pop-ups, et cetera. Like, who's behind this? What's the story? Does this work? Has this been proven in the real world? Just questions to ask yourself. That's all. And that's going to be part of my book review as well. That little rant right there was not about today's book. It was actually about a lot of tech-based devices. And also you can't see it, but it's literally at arm's length on my desk. I've got let me count right now. I've got 7 labs that I'm going to be running myself. So 7 different labs. 7 different lab companies, and I'm always running labs, most of which we will never use in our practice. But I run them to see what the data is, what they look like, if it would be valuable to our community. And we have now, I believe, 14 labs. We're going to be over 20-something labs in April. And so in just another month or so, or just another, 2-3 weeks. And that's because at-home lab testing is the future. The future is already here, and it's absolutely amazing at what it can do for your overall health. But there's a lot of bad lab testing out there, right? So at Equilife, we don't own any labs. Like, we don't own the labs, but you need to have a doctor or, you have to have a practitioner, a doctor sign off on the labs for you. And so that's what we do, and we curate them. We curate the best labs from around the world. Now that we are the largest global integrative health practice in the world, we also have some good buying power. So you've probably seen in 2022, all of our labs have gone down by basically $100 or so. So they're really great pricing, and of course, they all come with an actual health consultation, whether you're working with your local integrative health practitioner, or global virtual integrative health practitioner, or you're working with our team at EcoLife. So a lot of labs, and I will let you know that in April, we have about 9 labs coming out that are free for IUBONE members, which is pretty phenomenal, right? And they're all single analytes. They will be available for everyone, but they'll be free for IUBONE members. If you want to know what an IUBONE membership is all about, it's also free. You can go to I'll have you go right to it. StephenCabral.com/IUBONE, and that will take you right to the membership page. Again, there's nothing to buy. You can check it out. You're probably using already a lot of the products yourself. So it's AYUBOWAN, StephenCabral.com/IUBONE, AYUBOWAN. And again, feel free to check it out. But those labs will be coming, I believe, the first or second week of April. They will also be very low cost as well. So for people that have never done functional medicine lab testing at home, they just want to test maybe one of their hormones or maybe even something like TSH or PSA, all of those will be coming in just a couple of weeks. So super excited about that. But what I'm also looking forward to, and it's not for a couple of weeks, so I'd like to have a couple of weeks before, is as we are moving slowly out of our winter and into spring, that means our spring functional medicine detox is coming. So if you're like me and you do a seasonal functional medicine detox every 12 weeks, well, ours begins April 4th. If you're joining us, there will be about 10,000 other people around the world completing their functional medicine detox, and I'm excited. If you want to join us, you're welcome to. Again, being a part of the community is always free, so there's no cost there. You can go to cabralsupportgroup.com. That is where we post every single day during the detox. You can do a 7, 14, or 21 day based on your goals. Remember, a functional medicine detox is actually scientifically proven by science, so modern day science, as well as used for well over 6,000 years in Ayurveda. We're just able to use a functional medicine side and the Ayurvedic side. So through meal timing, intermittent fasting, and so much more, we're able to help people get to the root cause of their health issues by addressing at a fundamental level hormones and blood sugar and inflammation, autophagy, and so much more. If you want to find out all the details about what I'll be doing along with our community, just head on over to StephenCabral.com/detox. All right, podcast recap for the week. Hopefully you've been joining us, but if you haven't, that's okay. On Monday's show, it was episode, let's see if we can find the episode number. It was 2222. And it was, let's see, is it 2222? No, it was 2229. So the weeks fly by. It was 6 factors that make life easier. And I know that when I was talking about that show, I just remember it like literally like it was yesterday filming. It was 6 factors that make life infinitely easier. So definitely check that out. I enjoyed recording that show, and I know that Mindset and Motivation Mondays have become a community favorite, which is great. So we've got the 7 occupations that age you the fastest. Check that out. That was Tuesday's show. My modified Mediterranean diet. So I go over that, how we use it in our practice, and how I use it in my own life. I truly believe it's the healthiest diet in the world. And again, I don't own the Mediterranean diet. I simply take you through what I believe through science and 5,000 published research papers on PubMed about the Mediterranean diet. And then how to boost your metabolism while losing weight. And that is like, again, as I said yesterday, that's like the holy grail. Like that is the thing we're all looking for. And this one was actually done, how to boost your metabolism through diet alone while losing weight without even exercising. Of course, you know I believe in exercising, but this was done without even exercising. So definitely check that out. That was episode 2232, yesterday's show. For all of today's show notes and takeaways and links and research, head on over to StephenCabral.com/2233. That's today's show. All right. Before we move on from the podcast, I do want to thank you once again. I did it just briefly over the weekend, but I said it would be coming. 30 million plus downloads of the Cabral concept. I mean, that is pretty amazing. And I just simply want to take a moment to say thank you. I don't download the show myself. It is all of you. And for that, I truly appreciate you. We've been now for the last 6 years top health iTunes show. I don't even know how many reviews there are. I do read all of reviews and I do appreciate that, but there's over thousands of reviews. So that's always great to see because as I've said before, this is my favorite thing to do. My favorite thing is teaching. I love to teach, whether it's our integrative health practitioners, the Cabral Concept Daily Podcast, or whatever it might be on YouTube videos, et cetera. I just love to be able to teach. And simply, as I've said before, it was always a goal of mine when I was 19 years old and I was given some hope and some help. And I said, hey, if I ever get well, I would love to share this with the world. And I don't think that that's ever going to stop. I think that I'm very grateful for what I've been shown, what I've been taught in life. Not only did it heal me physically, it healed me mentally, emotionally, spiritually as well. So again, once again, thank you so much for being a part of this community. If you haven't left a review of the show, I would love to hear what you think. I'd love to hear and read your review on iTunes, Google, et cetera, right? So thank you so much. Again, appreciate you. Now let's dive into our herb of the week. I said for all of 2022, I'd be going through one herb every single week, and that's exactly what we're going to do. All right. So today's herb of the week is Ginkgo. So a lot of people say Ginkgo, which is totally fine to do, but it's spelled G-I-N-K. There's a K there, G-O. So Ginkgo Biloba is the actual full term. Again, this is more of a traditional Chinese medicine herb, but certainly used in Ayurvedic medicine as well. I remember when I was over at one clinic in Sri Lanka, which is an island off of the tip of India, the southeast tip of India, I believe, not southwest. And again, amazing experience there for one of my internships. And this is one of the first, I'd read about it, of course, many times before, but we used it quite a bit in clinical practice there. So it was great to be able to see it. And then when I actually have formulate now, I understand why when I'm doing my research for what are the best herbs and vitamins and minerals and amino acids, et cetera, when I'm formulating, I'm like, oh, well, this keeps coming up over and over. And that is why we use it so much. And the reason is that when you look at Ginkgo biloba, and again, I'm not providing any medical advice, medical treatment plans, medical diagnosis, or medical cures. Remember, only your medical doctor has the almighty power to be able to do that. So, but what Ginkgo biloba does, and even though it's clinically and scientifically referenced and proven through research, right, the same research that's used with all science, it works essentially because it's a very powerful antioxidant, right? So it's a green plant, very powerful antioxidants. It helps to balance healthy levels of inflammation. But one of the reasons, and so that's huge in and of itself, but one of the reasons why you see it in so many eye vision-based products or brain-based products is because it helps with circulation. So Ginkgo biloba is now, it's clinically proven to help with overall circulation. So it's used for a healthy heart. It's used for overall, again, like supporting, helping, benefiting, not curing Alzheimer's, dementia, depression, anxiety, and so much more. So it's a very, very powerful herb. It's one that I use quite a bit. I have it for sure in the Daily Vision and eye health product that we launched for the longevity line. And it's also in the Daily Brain Support as well. So it's just such a powerful herb. You can use it. Typically, people aren't going to eat it. They're not going to use too much of it, although we did add it to many meals over in Sri Lanka and in India, in southern India, and Kerala actually, where I was at a clinic as well. But we would add Ginkgo biloba a lot to nutritional supplements, as I said before, and that's how we typically used it. So feel free to, again, look it up, use it if you need to improve overall circulation, eye health, heart health, brain health. It is a fantastic one to use. All right, now for our book review of the week, it is none other than the great Tony Robbins. So Anthony Robbins, many people know him for his self-improvement. I know he doesn't like to be known as a motivational speaker, but certainly I don't think that that's a bad thing. Tony Robbins has motivated tens of millions of people around the world. I mean, he is one of the best to ever do it. His mentor was Jim Rohn. You know, I've said many times before, I think Jim Rohn is one of the best ever to do it. Tony Robbins is one of the best ever to do it in terms of helping people with their psychology, overall emotional balance, and so much more. So huge fan. Just want to say that up front. And Tony has been into health for quite a number of years. It's not like this is brand new to him, but he wrote a book called Life Force: Increase Your energy, strength, vitality, health span, and power. And it was written along with Peter Diamandis, who's Dr. Peter Diamandis, and Dr. Robert Harari. I apologize. I don't know how to pronounce that. I don't know Robert's work, but I'm very familiar with Peter Diamandis' work as well. So I want to give you a quick review of this book. So this book is like an excerpt of everything that's out there and what will be coming in terms of overall health. So literally, if you want to learn about all of the latest and greatest, it's in this book. Much of it is super expensive, like very, very expensive in terms of like exercise machines or stem cell therapy or other things. It's very, very expensive, but it is good to know about all of the different things that are out there. One thing that I want to just caution you about in this as well is that they talk about things like using stem cells for autoimmune, using cool sculpting to freeze body fat and eliminate it. These are not things I am a proponent of, which means I do not approve of these at all. Can they be used in certain circumstances? Sure. The problem is that many of the things talked about in this book are not addressing the root cause of why they occurred in the first place. So even though Tony Robbins is big on testing your blood and all of those things, they don't get to a lot of the root causes of why people have the autoimmune issues, why they're so unhealthy in the first place, why people have gained the weight. It doesn't address those things. And because of that, I cannot wholeheartedly support a lot of the work in this book. I think it's great that we're able to see all of these different things. But what I say is this: take everything with a grain of salt and then go deeper on it. Because it's not like it can't work. It's not like a lot of these things aren't great. They are, but go deeper on it. One of the things is using soy as part of your diet. And he's recommending that. Doesn't say it's under the prostate section, which I agree with, right? Postmenopausal women and men with prostate issues can benefit from taking in some soy products. That's totally backed up by science. Doesn't talk about non-GMO, doesn't talk about fermented based versions of it, doesn't talk about it. It's to benefit men with prostate issues, not necessarily all men on the planet. So again, since it's all excerpts, it doesn't go deep. And I want people to be careful to take all of this at face value without doing more research. That's all. So again, think Tony Robbins is absolutely amazing. I would just implore people to go deeper on every topic and always look for the root cause. All right. So that is my review of Life Force. You can check it out. We'll certainly link it up at stephencabral.com/2233 today. All right. Let's get into the research for the week. The research of the week is all about it's all about viruses in general. The virus, yes, but understand that the flu, which has been around for quite some time now, right, is also a virus. The common cold is types of viruses, right? So we're talking about viruses. So when I talk about today's research, I don't want you to think about just the virus, because I know over the last few weeks we're like, well, the virus is basically gone, right? Well, it's not. That's not true, right? It's not true. We don't know if it will ever go away, this virus, or it will continue on in different strains like the flu has, right? But even still, we still have the flu and we have all sorts of different viruses. These, in my opinion, are not things to be afraid of, to be scared of. But we certainly do want to be prepared, and we know so much of what can keep us healthy and why some people are healthier than others and why some people get more sick than others. We need to really pay attention to those things, and the media will never teach you that. The media will teach you about the latest drug or what else you can do, but they won't teach you how to stay healthy on your own. And that, to me, is a little scary. So that's what the Cabral Concept and many others shows are about as well. So let's go over that. So first and foremost, just real quick, let's see where this is published. This was published in, I can see it's published by Dr. Morozev. So let me just pop that in and we will see the exact publication, because I just popped an excerpt of their PLOS journal. And let me get the citation for you. Perfect. All right. This will all be linked up at stephencabral.com/2233 if you'd like to go deeper. All right. So I'm just going to give you the excerpt. So people that were vitamin D deficient prior to infection had a 14 times higher likelihood of developing severe or critical COVID-19, meaning hospitalization or death. But here's the thing. those people that were deficient in vitamin D, which is one of the easiest things to improve, were 14 times higher to have a bad outcome. That's not, like if I said double as likely, right? Double the disease, you'd be like, well, that's really bad. 14 is so much higher, right? Like a lot of times we don't even think about that. Now, it's not double, it's not triple, it's not quadruple, right? It's not quintuple. It's 14 times higher. So optimizing your vitamin D through natural sunlight, ideally, and or vitamin D3 supplementation, it has to be a must. It has to be a must all year long. It's so inexpensive. It's so easy to do. About 35 IUs per pound of body weight, but you must test your vitamin D3. Actually, it's on the website right now. If you go to equa.life, you'll just be able to search it. It's under the labs. You'll be able to find the vitamin D3 test. And it's inexpensive. You can run your vitamin D3 levels anytime. It also comes as part of the stress, mood, and metabolism test, which is literally the best test out there for overall hormones. All right. So again, you don't have to run it with us. You can ask your medical doctor to run your vitamin D3. You can ask anyone you like, but they have to get you that lab test. You need to know your vitamin D3 levels. Test it once or twice a year. Definitely test it in January, February, March, somewhere around there, just to make sure that during the winter, your levels are up. Or I would actually test it before that. Again, I always test my vitamin D September, October, going into the winter. It's so critical. Keep your vitamin D optimized. Here's another one as well. So of patients with severe or critical disease, and this is basically it, 87.4% had a higher or had a higher likelihood due to deficient vitamin D. I mean, it's unbelievable. Basically everyone. They had a severe or critical COVID infection, 87% of them because they were one of the reasons was because they were vitamin D deficient. You cannot expect your immune system to function properly if you have low vitamin D. It's one of the most critical things for your immune system. All right. The next one is this. Again, don't apply it just to COVID. Apply it to all viruses and the flu. I know the research is not pointing exactly to that, but you have to understand is like this virus was unique in the way of the anatomy of the virus, but it is still a virus. Like we have to understand that. The same things that worked previously for viruses, as I shared over a year and a half ago, end up working the same exact way. Why? Because they don't have to work on the virus. They have to work on the immune system of the human. If your immune system is better, if your immune system is optimal, you're going to be able to fight things off. That's why I can't go into it today, but it is the terrain of the body. Many health practitioners will know what I'm talking about. It is not the germ, it is the terrain. The germ matters, yes, but the terrain is ultimately whether you will be healthy or not. All right, one more study just to back this up. We've already been talking about quercetin, how amazing it is, how it works so great with vitamin C, vitamin D, and zinc. We've talked about that. We've talked about how it's a zinc ionophore. I will link up another show on quercetin. I mean, it's that powerful. So definitely go to stevencabral.com/2233. I'll link up a show just on the herb quercetin. Again, natural. It's actually contained in apples and onions and other things like that, capers. So it's a nutrient. They did a study, and it was with just 250 milligrams of quercetin. That's it, 250 milligrams of quercetin. Okay, it was done on 120 healthcare workers. It showed that they were basically split into two groups. So we have a quercetin group and then a placebo group, and a large number of people in the quercetin group contracted the virus, and their symptoms were resolved typically within an average of 7 days. And the placebo group, their resolution was an average of 15 days. This is half the time. Again, am I saying that I can provide you any medical treatment plans, any medical advice, any medical cures? No. But this is real scientific research. I will link this up as well today. And I'm telling you right now, I mean, we need to use this. This is 12 weeks. So again, use these products, not for one day, not for when you just get sick. Sure, they're great when you get sick, but use them. Use them to your advantage. They're so helpful for you. And every time your doctor says there's no research behind any of these nutritional supplements, just say, thank you, I appreciate your input. And then just walk out slowly and go and do your own research. Keep your body healthy. Keep your family healthy. That's what it's all about. So I'm a huge advocate of quercetin. I use it because I have a history of mastocytosis and mast cell and histamine issues. I use Hispro every single day. Huge fan of it, but you can also use whatever you choose to be helpful for you. So hopefully today's show was helpful. Thank you so much for tuning in. Again, thank you for all of the downloads, all of the reviews, and for simply supporting the Cabral concept and our shared mission. Thank you so much. Take care. I'll be back tomorrow with our Cabral House Calls. Are you ready to heal yourself and then go on to heal others? If so, the Integrative Health Practitioner Institute can help you discover proven functional medicine protocols that blend the best of 7 different healing disciplines from around the world. I personally share with you the exact handouts and protocols I use in my private practice that enable people to get well, lose the weight, and live longer, stronger. I want to pass this information on to the next generation of health coaches, and that is exactly why I created IHP. We are the future of the health coaching industry, and the skills and knowledge you will learn will make you an in-demand certified health coach anywhere in the world. Although we have many medical professionals taking the IHP certifications, no experience is necessary, and half our members have no previous health certifications. At the Integrative Health Practitioner Institute, our motto is a health coach in every home. Our goal is that you take this knowledge and then share it with family, friends, loved ones, your community, or in a practice where you create a career you love and can be proud of. The global IHP community is filled with some of the most kind and caring people in the world, and we can't wait to welcome you into our world soon. For more information or to set up a discovery call with one of our IHP Health Coach graduates, simply head over to integrativehealthpractitioner.org.